Hey everybody, Scott Radigan here from Functional Lawyer, and I want to talk today about mindset because I've been helping doctors and providers of all license levels now with their business, not just their legal side of things, but also their business side of how business and legal merge. And what I've discovered, on top of that, with Functional Lawyer, we do mostly legal, but I've also consulted and been a coach for providers as a business consultant. And my wife Linda and I have also started a company and like a coaching, consulting, mentorship program for doctors that want to have a membership practice and get on a wait list sooner rather than later. And what I've discovered is that 9 times out of 10, it's a mindset issue that holds providers back from achieving their goals, achieving their dreams, getting out of their own way most of the time. And it's not a they versus me. I don't have all the answers either. But today I want to talk about the mindset that helps kind of get rid of those blockages and kind of point you in the right direction and how you approach each day, each month, and ultimately, that lead to compounded results over time. So today we're talking baseball, and I've got my baseball shirt on. I'm a big fan of the Rays. We're about to enter the final weekend of the season. Now, baseball is romanticized for a lot of things, but it's it's one thing that it gets more than any other sport is that it's such a grind. And they play 162 games in a 6-month season. For context, the NBA and the NHL play half as many games in the same amount of time. So, you know, baseball's a little bit less taxing, but the point is, every day, win or lose, they show up the next day. Oftentimes, they play 7 games a week, sometimes more if there's a doubleheader, but it's ultimately almost a daily event for the whole baseball season. So, like in your business, you show up every day and it's a grind. But what that does is a couple of things. Is let you know that one, yesterday doesn't matter. I mean, learn your lessons from yesterday's mistakes or accidents or whatever you have to learn from. But today's a new day, and you can approach it and win today, win this day, um, just as much as you either won or lost yesterday. So every day is a new day, which means if you lost yesterday or didn't play well, particularly yourself, you have a new opportunity each and every day. And that's also true in business. Um, so the point of that, the grind of baseball, the grind of your business, is to show you that small improvements over the course of a long period of time and lots of applications of it can turn you from somebody who's doing okay into a league MVP into a Hall of Famer over a long period of time. So the grind is huge, and part of that is going through streaks of success and streaks of failure. In baseball, it's very common to see somebody go on like a super hot month or a super hot 10, 15 games, and then later on in the same season, the same year, they will not be able to hit anything. It's like there's a hole in their bat. And that's part of baseball, and that's part of life too. I mean, it seems like sometimes if your business is just going well and you're not actually sure what's happening, but you're like, let's hope this continues. That's fantastic. But the Hall of Famers, what separates a good player today from a great Hall of Fame player is consistency over time. So managing the hot streaks and just kind of riding those, knowing that this is fantastic, and not being scarcity mindset and thinking this can go away at any time, just enjoying the moment. Um, but then sucking away some dollars for a rainy day, because there will ultimately come some slumps as well. So going through a slump, you're kind of tinkering and you're figuring out like, all right, what's not working, what is working. Let me go look at film. Or in your business, if you're not tracking statistics, you should be, because you can't evaluate how you had a bad month versus how you had a good month and then track the source of that or where that came from, if it's kind of random to you. So if you're relying on the seasonal nature of functional medicine practices, which in our experience tends to be, you know, a lot of activity between January, February, and March, where people are recovering from the holidays and not feeling that great, and or doing New Year's resolutions. There's a lot more activity there. And then in June and July and sometimes August, there's a lot less activity because people are on vacation with their families, and so they're not ready to join or start a new um, program with you because there are graduations and weddings and vacations to take, and then the kids are all on the way, and like, when does school start again? Let's put them back in school, please. Um, so typically there's a slowdown for most practices in the summertime. And so if you don't know what works when you're going well, it's hard to correct it when it's not going well. And that's part of uh, some of the lessons that we can take from business as from baseball as well, because when you're in a slump or if things aren't going that well, you go look back at the good times and go, hey, what did we do there? Was I, I don't really know a whole lot about the technical aspects of professional baseball, but there's a lot of things that you can do, like, is my back shoulder dropping? Am I dragging the bat through the zone? Kind of some technical stuff there, but you know, really you're just evaluating. Okay, let's look at what went well and how do I study that and recreate it when things are not going so well as well. And you know what? Between baseball too and life and business really in general, there is going to be a lot of failure. And failure has come into a connotation where we are we don't like it. It's a bad word. It's a negative word. It has a negative connotation. But if you've been paying attention to Silicon Valley or Shark Tank or anything like that, failure is a good word. Or software, computer software too. Failure is great. They want you to fail fast and fail often, I think is the end of that quote. But really just like, hey, let's see if this works. If it doesn't work, like, let's change a little bit and see if this part works. And there's a lot of that in marketing. There's a lot of that in definitely software. But the point is, in baseball, it's a really common trope that if you fail 7 out of 10 times as a hitter, you'll go to the Hall of Fame because you'll have a batting average of 300 over the course of your career, which means that you'll have a long career, and that's a really hard number to get to, 300. And that is the best of the best. Hall of Fame, like we're going to enshrine them forever in history because they failed only 7 out of 10 times, not 75 out of 100 times, right? And so it's a huge thing to be able to keep perspective that failure is not bad. Failure is a learning opportunity, a way for you to move forward in your business. So what can we take from that as providers? One is, like baseball, we have to show up every day or nearly every day, and you have a choice. You have a mental choice to either kind of just show up and see how the game goes, or do all the preparation in pregame and do your practice and set a game plan. That's less applicable in baseball, but be really intentional about what you're trying to do that day, or just show up and let life happen to you. And this is really for life and business. And so, are you showing up every day with intentions, with like 3 goals that have to be done today? And if you get those 3 done, that's a success. And so, being intentional about your actions, recognizing that failure is good, not bad. It's an opportunity to learn. And then realizing it's a grind. There's going to be super high points, especially as an entrepreneur, and there's going to be some low points mentally, financially, and knowing that over the course of a whole season or a year in the name of a practice, that these should level out so long as you show up every day with a good mentality, a good willingness to learn from mistakes, good willingness to evaluate what's going right and learn from that, which is a lot more fun to learn from, at least in sports. And then um, keeping in mind that failure is gonna happen, and knowing that this is a way for you to kind of build every day for, in baseball's case, 162 games over 6 months, but in your case, of at least 250 days over the course of the year, and just 250 opportunities for you to get better. Not not 100% better each day. If you just go 1% better every day, that is a win. Like 1% better than yesterday. When we show up with 1% extra energy today, and then 1% extra energy the next day, and then pretty soon you'll have a really compounded investment, both energetically, both financially, into your business. But it is a compound effect if you just show up every day with the same mentality. And I do want to show, or at least let you know about a really good book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And he really goes into detail about that when it comes to when you give this same lecture to your patients effectively to say, hey, look, embarking on a new health journey is not easy, but if you show up and try to make it work every single day and not worry about yesterday's failure and beat yourself up about it, just kind of erase that from your memory each day a little bit, then over time, the compound effect of your actions and your thought processes will have really life-changing results in them. So let's go Rays for the October baseball postseason here. But more importantly, let's show up every day intentionally for our practices, and recognize that there's going to be slumps, there's going to be some hot streaks, there's going to be a lot of failure, and that it's a grind. And so the best teams can, and the best providers can recognize that yesterday, let's learn from it, but let's not stew over it, and let's look and see what we can do tomorrow. Use that for yourself and your business. Use that analogy, if you like, for your patients as well. And we'll see you guys next week, and we'll see you in the postseason if you're a Rays fan or not. So have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.